Welcome. This story is about understanding dementia in our elderly parents and grandparents in our communities. Dementia is not a curse, it's not juju. When memory fades, love must rise. So observe, understand, and care. In many African homes, when an elderly parent starts forgetting things, repeating questions, or acting differently, the first thought is often, is it spiritual? Or who is trying to harm my family? But sometimes these changes are not caused by juju, spiritual attacks, or witchcraft. They are early signs of a medical condition called dementia, a disease that affects memory, behavior, and thinking. This story follows Mama Nneka, a grandmother from eastern Nigeria, whose gentle forgetfulness slowly turned into confusion, wandering, and loss of everyday skills. Through her journey, we learn how dementia appears in real African families, how misunderstanding can delay help, and why early medical attention is so important. If you have an elder at home showing unusual behavior, this story will help you understand the signs, respond with compassion, and seek the right support. This is a touching African folktale with a powerful lesson for every family. In a quiet village in eastern Nigeria, where the morning sun paints the red earth roads gold, lived a woman named Mama Nneka. She was a grandmother, cherished by everyone, a woman whose laughter could brighten a dull market day, whose kindness could soften the hardest heart. Mama Nneka owned a small clothing stall in the daily market. Every morning, she woke before the first cock crow. She tied her headscarf neatly, hummed an old hymn from her youth, and set off to sell colorful wrappers and blouses. Children greeted her joyfully. Everyone loved her. Everyone trusted her. And she was known for one special gift. She never ever forgot a customer's face or name. But as seasons passed, something gentle, something quiet and strange began to weave itself into her life. At first, everyone thought it was old age and nobody worried. It was her 18-year-old niece, Obiageli, who started becoming alert to the signs. Little things, Mama misplacing her purse, forgetting what food she just ate or what day it is, repeating the same question she had just asked, wondering aloud where she kept the wrapper she had folded a few minutes earlier. Small stuffs that were easy to overlook, easy to blame on tiredness, easy to blame on aging process. But yet, these signs were evident enough to plant a small fear in Obiageli's heart. At the market, the signs grew louder. Soon customers began returning, saying, Mama, you gave me the wrong change. Mama, you messed up my order. Her market neighbors whispered with concern and often exchanged glances. Mama Nneka simply laughed and defended herself with excuses. The sun was too hot. I slept late. I was distracted. Still, deep inside, she felt something slipping, something she could not hold on to. At home, the changes grew deeper. She forgot to bathe. She couldn't manage her wrapper knots. She stumbled more easily. She forgot things that happened minutes ago. Sometimes she stood in a room she had known for decades and whispered, Whose house is this? Obiageli became afraid. In her young mind, she searched for answers. She remembered the night a strange sound hit the zinc roof, a night that frightened her, and she convinced herself that maybe that was when everything changed. She prayed, she fasted, she stayed quiet, terrified that villagers might say her grandmother had been spiritually attacked. Dark whispers about Maziokoli, the feared herbalist in the next village, being the culprit of these attacks, made her hide the truth even more. So she kept silent, believing Grandma needed prayer, not questions. But one afternoon, everything changed. Uncle Amadi, Mama's eldest son, returned home from the city unexpectedly. He saw the signs immediately: the confusion, the forgotten names, the fear in his mother's eyes. Obiageli finally opened her heart and told him everything. With a heavy sigh, Amadi did what he thought was best. He took his mother to the city hoping things will improve and left someone else to manage the market stall. Life in the city brought no improvement or healing. Mama grew more confused. She refused food. She wondered. She forgot the names of people she had known all her life. Every day became a new struggle and needed help with everything. After months of trying, with pain in their hearts, the family returned her to the comfort of the village as they hoped familiar surroundings would comfort her. But the forgetting did not stop and grew worse. She wandered around the village, sometimes barefoot, sometimes humming a hymn from her youth. She forgot her home. Villagers would gently walk her back home, their faces filled with sadness. And then one quiet morning, as Amadi watched his mother sitting outside, her wrapper loose, her eyes stared far off into the distance, as if searching for a memory she could no longer reach. That was the day he decided it was time for answers. So he made a decision. He called Obiageli, guided Mama gently into the car, and drove her to a large teaching hospital in the city. The doctors listened carefully. They ran multiple tests and also conducted memory tests. They asked questions she couldn't answer. They performed scans and assessments. After hours of waiting, a doctor finally sat them down. His tone was calm but firm. Your mother is experiencing dementia. Obiageli felt her chest tighten. Uncle Amadi closed his eyes slowly. The doctor explained that dementia is not a curse, not a charm, not a spiritual attack, not witchcraft, and not the work of any herbalist. Just a medical condition that slowly steals memory. They were given instructions on how to care for her. They were told what to expect. For the first time, everything made sense. Months passed. Mama Nneka's memory faded like a distant song. She rarely spoke. She no longer recognized even her favorite people. Her falls increased, her strength decreased, and she often wandered aimlessly as she could not stay in one place or made to stay in one place without a fight or struggle. The villagers continued guiding her home gently and patiently. Soon, she stopped communicating altogether, living mostly in silence, staring at the evening sun under the udala tree. The elders told the villagers, when an elder forgets, the family must remember. Dementia is not witchcraft, it is a journey of the mind. And so Mama Nneka's story became a teaching folktale across villages, a reminder that when memory begins to fade, families must act early, seek help, and show extreme compassion. Memory is precious, and when it begins to fade, love must become louder. Not every challenge an elder faces is caused by spiritual attacks or juju. Sometimes it is a medical condition, especially when memory, behavior, or thinking begins to change. And so remember to pay attention to early signs such as forgetfulness, confusion, repeating questions, mixing up money, or wandering. Do not hide symptoms out of fear, embarrassment, or cultural beliefs. Seek immediate help from a trained health professional. Early diagnosis can improve safety, comfort, and support for the elderly person. Compassion and understanding make the journey easier for everyone. So the final word is love loudly, observe carefully, act early, care without fear, because our elders deserve respect, protection, and proper medical care, not suspicion or blame. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. Thank you.